there was some sort of town hall event in California with Nancy Pelosi and Representative Ted Lieu and Representative Nanette Barragan. And take a look at what happened when somebody shouted about universal health care.
Trump tax. Also, to stay up to date, please visit the website, which is repealthetrumptax.org. So, thank you again for everything, and please stay loud.
SB 562, which is the health care for all Californians, only awaits a champion. Would anybody on the panel be willing to be a champion for SB 562 they can put it out to everybody?
I'm sorry, the event is over, but I'll write that.
The feed instantly cut when the dude was like, what about the universal health care bill in California? He's talking about the state universal health care bill. And what happened, of course, is that corporate Democrats are holding that bill up. Corporate Democrats, Anthony Rendon, I believe his name is, he's the main culprit here. He could bring it up for a vote, but he's not bringing it up for a vote, and he's doing the bidding of the for-profit health insurance companies. And, you know, unfortunately, there's a lot of politicians at the state level that are waffling on it and not saying anything. And so what he's doing is he's asking these politicians at the federal level, the national level, hey, what about this bill? Can you guys maybe take up the cause here and fight for it? Now, listen, if I'm one of those Congress people and somebody in the audience mentions anything about universal health care, I have just an instant reaction of yes, even though that's at the state level and I'm a national politician, so that I can't vote on that because I'm in Washington, D.C., and we're talking about the state government in California. Yes, I will vocally support that. I'm on the side of that, and I'm on the side of that right now, and I want to let that be known, and every journalist can write that down, and I'm more than happy to make the arguments in favor of universal health care. That's how I would react, because I actually favor universal health care. How do they react? They sit there awkwardly. Did you see Nancy Pelosi's face? She's, this is uncomfortable. One of the peasants is asking for basic human necessities. I'm not sure I like this. And then boom, feed cuts. Listen, they're McLiberals. That's what this is. This is the Mick resistance against Donald Trump. That's what this is. They don't act. What's their vision? What's the vision of the corporate Democrats? Nothing defines them other than we hate Trump, but let's not go into the details or the specifics of the policies. So they'll talk about Russia. They'll talk about Stormy Daniels until they're blue in the face. One of their favorite arguments is the high turnover in Trump's administration. But notice, all of those arguments leave policy at the side of the road. If you really cared about these issues, you could be railing against Trump. Now, they brought up the, Trump's tax bill there. Okay, good. So you're saying you're against it. Now, that's a contradiction, because Joe Crowley, one of the top Democratic officials, was asked at a Democratic retreat, are you going to run against Trump's tax bill? He said, no, we're going to run to restore balance. So a lot of people in the Democratic caucus are not running against Trump's tax bill. They should, of course. So, if you want to make that a cornerstone, you should. But there appears to be a mix in the party as to some people will do it, some people won't do it. But okay, we're getting started if you want to talk about running against Trump's tax bill. But what are you for? So you're against the tax bill. Great, I agree. What are you for? What are you for? Tell me what you're for. Are you for a Wall Street transaction tax? Bernie's for a Wall Street transaction tax. And then you know what he's going to do with the money raised from that transaction tax? Give everybody free college. That's what his plan is. Is that your plan? You want to get on board? No, they don't want to do that. See, they have this goofy idea where we have a better deal. There was the New Deal, and now we want the better deal. And the better deal is mild neoliberal milquetoast fucking centrism. You're not going to win elections with that. You have to unapologetically be for Medicare for all, free college, a living wage, ending the wars, a New Deal, legalizing marijuana, ending the drug war, ending mass incarceration. This is how you win. But no. Instead, they sit there awkwardly when somebody asks them about universal health care. And you want to know why? Nancy Pelosi's not in favor of Medicare for all. She's not, what is it, HR 676 in the House, or at least that's what it was. That's the Medicare for all bill. She refused to sign on to it. Now, Justice Democrats did a great push where it was, I don't know, we took it from like 50 or 51 Democratic congresspeople to well over 100 who are now in favor of Medicare for all. But Nancy Pelosi was not one of them. Isn't it amazing that over 80% of the Democratic Party and 60% of the country favors Medicare for all, and the Democratic leader refuses to support it? Why? Because she takes so much money from the donor class, from Wall Street, from the for-profit health insurance companies, from Big Pharma. So she is a McLiberal. And this is what she does. The whole idea is to obfuscate. The whole idea is to say, we're against Trump and you should vote for us because we're not as openly shitty people as he is. You have to tell me what you're for. And you're not for the things that the American people want. So this is, if there is a Trump backlash, and I think there probably will be in the next election, it's just you're rolling the dice. So the whole point of the election was just, hey, we don't like that guy. But then if you're elected and you don't do any of the things the American people want, then there's going to be a Republican wave again at some point. If you get elected and you do what people want, all the things I just laid out, well, then you'll keep getting reelected. FDR kept getting reelected. And Republicans said we should do term limits when FDR died in office because they were like, shit, if we don't do term limits, these guys are going to keep winning. So instead of the Democrats doing these very popular ideas and taking on the donor class, they're puppets to the donor class, just like the Republicans are, and they just try to obfuscate and say, hey, we're not as bad as those guys are, so vote for us. So then you're still going to get the seesaw effect. Hey, Democrats win, then Republicans win. The Democrats win, then Republicans win. But even if you have a supermajority and the end result is not progressive policies, what was the point? What was the point? Because policy, that's all that matters. So, classic Nancy Pelosi there. Asked about universal health care, make an awkward face. Ted Lieu, same. Ted Lieu is ridiculous. You know, he was one of the guys when it became apparent that we're about to attack Assad directly in Syria. What was Ted Lieu's counter argument? All options should be on the table. Already wrong. But wow, you should really have a vote on this. Oh my God. So it's the mealy-mouthed procedural argument bullshit. In other words, it's not a moral stand against an offensive war. That's the proper argument. No, we should not be doing this war, and here are the 1,000 reasons why. Instead of that, it's, hey, maybe we should do the war, but you should definitely vote on it. And he knows Trump's not going to do a vote on it, so he gets to look like he's resisting without actually resisting. And that's the point. That's what these guys do. That's why Ted Lieu screams about Russia all the fucking time. So it's just, they're terrible. They're a joke. And at a time when we need a Democratic Party and a left-wing movement with fucking fangs and venom that's unapologetic for the issues we want, they obfuscate on those issues and try to co-opt the progressive grassroots from taking over the party.